Welcome back to the kitchen. Today I'm going to prepare a chilled pea soup. So we'll get straight into it because I need to get it underway. In my pot I already have a bag of frozen peas. So they're going to go on to a hot element. What I'm doing is throwing into that is a couple of cloves of garlic and then some prepared chicken stock. So we just want to cover the peas with the chicken stock. So it's just enough to get them heated through. So what we do with the soup is we're going to bring the peas, the garlic and the chicken stock to the boil, and we just want to bring them to the heat. Otherwise we're going to lose that wonderful green colour in the peas. We want to pop in a wee bit of seasoning as well. So some grinds of fresh black pepper, and we want to pop in there a couple of pinches of salt. I'm using just some normal flaky sea salt, but you could just use any other salt that you chose. So while they're getting underway, I'm going to look at the garnish for our soup. So I need to peel a carrot. So what we're going to do is make some carrot pearls. Now these are just little balls of carrot. That's all they are, but it's a fancy name for the carrot. So what I'm using is a little Parisian scoop. So you can buy these in sort of specialist kitchen shops. There is the larger version that we use with melons, but this one's mainly used for doing very small stuff. So just peel the carrot, then we're actually going to go into the carrot, we're going to press our melon baller in, and we're going to just turn it around. So what we end up with is a wonderful little ball of carrot. So that's why we call them carrot pearls, because they look like little pearls. So if you get a little bit like that, you just break off the little bit of carrot. So for a dinner party, if you're doing 10 people, you might be there for quite a wee while making lots of these. For the dinner party that we're doing, it's only for 4 people, so we're not going to need too many. I would probably serve about 3 of these on each soup. So if you can imagine a really nice vibrant green of our peas, then finished off with these little carrot pearls as a nice colour contrast. So as you can see, they're quite easy to do, so these could be done ahead of time, and just keep them in some cold water so they don't dry out. We'll just do a couple more. Now if you didn't have a melon baller like this, you could cut little squares of carrots, would be fine. Don't call them carrot pearls on the menu, you tell your guests, but you could just still serve that vibrant orange with the actual soup. Right, that should do our last one there. I'm just going to put a wee bit of water on those, as I said, just to keep them from drying out. So we're also going to be finishing our soup off with some truffle oil. Now, you don't have to use a truffle oil. It is reasonably expensive. You're looking around about $35 to $40 a bottle, but it just adds a wonderful, intense flavour to any food you're doing. So if you've ever had real truffles, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you might be able to see that little bit of real truffle there floating around in the oil. So basically, there's usually a wee bit of truffle in the oil that they've steeped, and it takes on this really earthy, mushroomy flavour. If you didn't want to use it, then you could use, say, for example, the olive oil with the avocado and the horapito in there as well. That would still add some flavour and some colour to your dish. But if you like mashed potato, put some truffle oil into your mashed potatoes. There's lots of wonderful applications it does with our pea soup. Right, so we'll just give that a stir. So you can see the steam's coming off though, so that chicken stock's just come to the boil. Our peas are still vibrant and green. So what we're going to do now is into our food processor. So I'm not going to process all of it in one go. We're just going to do it in batches. That should be enough. A wee bit of the liquid. So we want to get that process down so it's smooth. You could serve it straight from the food processor and that consistency, but I like it much finer. So we're actually going to pass it through a little sieve. So I just want to add a wee bit more of the chicken stock just for some liquid. And I can smell the wonderful flavour of the peas coming through. So now what we want to do is we want to pass the soup through a very fine sieve. So again, work in small batches. So a nice fine sieve, and we'll get our spoon. And what we're going to do is press with the back of our spoon and force through the soup so we get just the essence of the peas. We don't want all the skins going through. Now, I got inspired by this soup from having it at one of the famous restaurants in America called the French Laundry, which I went to a few years ago, and they serve a pea soup, but they use the peas fresh from the garden. So of course, if you have fresh peas in your garden, you could do this, but I know that if you've got fresh peas in your garden, they don't even make it to the dinner table. They're usually eaten by the gardener or the grandchildren who come and steal them. So as you can see, we're just forcing through the mixture. Every so often take your spoon and just scrape underneath, and you're going to get more of the pea mixture coming through. Now this can be served as a hot soup, but we're going to serve it as a chilled soup for our dinner party. So you would then put it into the fridge to chill right down, and then we would serve it. So keep pressing until you get all the goodness and flavour out. Just going to rest that there. And this is going to be enough for me to show you how to finish the soup off. So I'm just going to pour that into my jug to make it easier to pour. So we've got our little pea soup ready to go. We've got our little carrot pearls. We're serving it a wee bit of sour cream as well, and we've got our truffle oil. So this could be served, if you remember what I talked about in a previous show, our amuse-bouche. You could serve the pea soup as an amuse-bouche, and what you could do is serve it in a little demi-tasse coffee cup. So you can actually fill that coffee cup with the pea soup and serve it as a little shot, a little starter to get the palate going. Or you could then serve it as a normal soup in a large bowl. So pouring the soup in, and it's quite rich, so it doesn't have to be a full bowl of soup. And if, of course, you're doing a dinner party, you're not going to want lots of heavy courses. Then we'll take some of our little carrot balls, get them draining, take a wee piece of wee spoonful of our cream cheese. Actually, I said cream cheese, it's sour cream actually. Then we put our little carrot balls, just 3 of those just resting there, and then we take our wonderful truffle oil and just a little drizzle over the top. So there we have our pea soup, sour cream, carrot pearls, and our truffle oil. Now, of course, if you're going to serve it chilled, you would pop it into the fridge, chill it down, then serve it exactly the same way as I have. So enjoy. Here's your chilled pea soup.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us today. If you need the recipes, don't hesitate to give Q a call, give them a fax, send them an email, and they will send the recipes out to you. Now, join us next week when I'm going to be preparing seared salmon, a sorbet, and we're going to do the preparation for our main course as part of Dinner with Scott.